I want it.
You're worth it.
We're worth it.
Now, have you ever wondered who came up with this beautiful slogan for L'Oreal Paris? Now, this brings us to the story of another amazing copywriter called Alan Specht, who was working as a copywriter in 1970s for this company called McCain Erickson in New York. When she was only 23 years old, they were working with this French company called L'Oreal, and they wanted to introduce their hair color preference by L'Oreal in US. Now at that time, like I talked about in my previous video, Miss Clairol hair color was the number one hair color that was introduced in US, and it was the leading hair color brand in the country. Now L'Oreal Paris, they believed that their products were superior, and they wanted to charge 10 cents extra compared to Miss Clairol hair color. Now their ad agency was given 4 weeks to work on this ad campaign. So the creative teams of McCain locked themselves and they were discussing how the ad should be. Now what we need to understand is that during 1970s, still the workforce was dominated by male. So it was the male that were discussing how the ad should be. So they wanted to do something with this beautiful woman sitting by this window and through beautiful curtain and wind slowly coming by and blowing the hair. And they still had this traditional view of the women, where they said like women should look good for men. So that angered Alan Specht, and she wrote the famous ad.
I use the most expensive hair color in the world, preferenced by L'Oreal. It's not that I care about money, it's that I care about my hair. It's not just the color. I expect great color. What's worth more to me is the way my hair feels. Smooth and silky, but with body. It feels good against my neck. Actually, I don't mind spending more for L'Oreal because I'm worth it.
And can you believe it that Alan Specht wrote that ad campaign in just 5 minutes because she was really angry, and the last word did the job. I'm worth it resonated with so many women during that time, and soon Preference by L'Oreal started stealing markets from Miss Clairol, and in 1980s Preference by L'Oreal became one of the leading hair color brands in the country. Now what we need to understand is there is difference between two ads by Shelley Polikoff and Alan Specht. In Shelley Polikoff's ad campaign, the female did not have its own voice. The model did not speak, the male did the voice over. Now that were how the ads were during that time, but that changed with Alan Specht ad campaign. For the first time, their ad campaign gave voices to female model, and the model spoke directly and personally through the ad campaign. Now why are Alan Specht and Shelley Polikoff important? They were not just brilliant copywriters, but they were also championed feminism, who broke barriers in a male-dominated society, and through their brilliant ad campaigns like Does She or Doesn't She or I Am Worth It, they showed us how advertisement should be done. Advertisement shouldn't be just about selling products, it should be about connecting people's emotions, aspirations, and identities.